out of 5 money match with JFlex. JFlex took a break recently, so he's been gone, but I think he's been back like a week or two, and he's been playing a lot. So I guess I don't know how much that speaks to skill level. Just to give you background on him.
Oh, I know all about JFlex.
Yeah,
He's
thinking
solid.
like JFlex recent events. He's taken a break for a couple months. Anyways, Sheik is one of my weaker matchups. I just really want to get that down. I've been trying to work on it recently. Um, and yeah, as for me personally, I've been playing for about like 2 to almost 3 years now, I guess. Recently, I've been a bit busier. I haven't been sticking to like my typical practice plan, and I feel like my growth sort of stagnated. So I've been trying to turn to like a lot more video analysis to see if I can like find a new way to continue getting better. So I think that's all there's to say about that.
Well, I think that's and I would say that I think that's very sensible. Practice in general has. I think that you don't want to cut out practice completely because practice is important, but practice as a main way of improving eventually does start to yield diminishing returns as your competence increases.
Yeah.
So a lot of it boils like once you know how to once you kind of have a lot of mastery over your character, or you can execute most of the ideas you want to do, a lot of it does eventually become finding stronger roots and just being making sure that those are polished and that you're good at those. Okay, so let's dive in.
Cool.
So half speed, I always do it on half speed.
Sure.
One thing that I will need that I do not have loaded. There we go, Epic Pen. There we go. Half speed just because it becomes easier to see the interactions.
Okay.
So to start, it looks like you're trying to contain him in the corner, keep him in this area. I take it that you're approaching this matchup, probably play ground game, do what you can to mitigate damage, no damage by her, juggling, low commit, you're being very low commit, up throw, okay. So that should have obviously been up air or forward air. Probably no forward air. And so that down air strikes me as somewhat greedy. Like, not here. Like you get him off stage. See, like that seems kind of greedy to me. I might consider covering like this area out here a little bit more. It's less rewarding, but I think that this is a matchup as Marth where a lot of what will make you successful in it is not going for the immediate reward type options. Because okay, that is SD. That's an unfortunate SD. But but I actually agree with like the kind of like play that you're going for here. Like you see, you're pushing him off. Like if you grab the edge here, then he has to double jump into something to recover. So you can cover this area really effectively. And obviously, if you need me to stop or pause, just let me know.
Okay, cool. So you're saying that the dare was greedy. Do you think I should have gone back to stage, or should I have faded back away from the ledge with my aerial, or?
Let's see here. Let's take a look at the situation again. Well, he's up here, right? So what I'm thinking is like dare requires him basically to fall into this area, but in my mind he has the option to air dodge up here. He could also just up B and then go for the platform, and then your dare doesn't really cover either of those. So I think that what I would want to put my hitbox around here. I might back air here or nair here. Because it like pushes him towards at the edge. It pushes him more towards off the stage. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
I think I've probably hit him with the close hitbox, so he wouldn't have traveled very far. I think because he was like pretty low. I think air dodge, dare would be a bad option if he'd air dodged. But if he had up B'd, the dare that I went for, I feel like I would be able to cover the ledge with like an up air. I mean, he'd be back on stage. But I feel like that was my reasoning. So whereas like, you're right there. I was going for like the instant reward, like to finish the stock quickly. If I had faded back with the dare, I would have to up B instead of landing on stage. But that would have covered the situation. So I feel like it was a read. So to explore fading away with the dare, um, it was like a bit of a read, but he did go for that option. I feel like the idea was like it's low percent. I detilted him. I suspected that he was going to fade like in or sort of be like a little antsy. So what do you
Hmm.
think about that reasoning?
I think it makes sense, but I think it's also kind of early on in the match to be expecting that he's going to be antsy. Like
Yeah.
it's you're both at 4, so you both have plenty
Mhm.
of resources. Like you both have 4 stocks basically to play with right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think that like there's much pressure on him yet.
Okay.
In his shoes, I'm kind of thinking, what gets me auto killed here?
Hmm.
Going for the edge gets me auto killed here.
Hmm.
Like if I run into this dare. So
Hmm.
I don't know. That's kind of like how I
Hmm.
that's how I view this situation. There's not enough pressure on him for me to really think that an option that banks on pressure to be really that
Hmm.
strong here. And then on top of that, the narrow hitbox on Dare because it's covering an area that he's not really occupying,
Uh-huh.
um, just makes it not seem that appealing to me because it
Okay.
predicts that he's going to drop into a certain spot. Whereas you
Okay.
could always just cover a spot that he's currently occupying and push him further out, which is what you kind
Hmm.
of which is kind of how you grind the edge guard on Sheik anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what my reasoning is. I think that if in a more tense situation, your dare has
Hmm.
potential, but I just think this
Yeah.
is too early.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Probably had more time to like set up like a bigger forward smash, but that's fine.
Hmm.
With edge guarding Sheik, I take it that forward smash is just simple, so it's
Yeah.
something you're like confident in being able to hit.
Yeah.
That's a great shark.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're moving around him really well between the stock as well. Yeah, down tilt's weird. I never know if it's actually good in this matchup or not. On the
Hmm.
one hand, it's crouch cancelable. On the other hand, it pokes your space and outranges her ground game really really nicely. Great coverage. I almost wonder if you could have hit him with the back end of your up air. Like
Mm.
if you could have like instead of back airing
Yeah.
like up,
Definitely.
and then you keep him above you. Whereas like
Yeah.
hitting him across the stage doesn't really do a lot for you at this damage.
I think it'd be a lot harder to hit the up air because the drift in order to hit him with the back hitbox is tough. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I also think that bear is a little greedy. I mean, like I feel like he missed his fastball timing. I feel like he should have won out that situation if I'd committed because I'd burn my double jump. At least that's what it looks like to me right now.
Yeah, you double jump to like come back here.
Hmm.
So like you get this forward air, and then you immediately go for the nair. I'm also curious about this nair. So I take it that you're trying to push him off the stage and set up the edge guard.
Hmm.
Um, what about just up airing again?
Um, yeah. So that's okay. So I think when I up air, so if I hit him upwards, then there's a mix up that I'm not very good at, which is getting which direction he's going into, covering the fastball timing, and also beating out whatever options he goes for, if he goes for a dare or a nair, what have you. Whereas if I hit him horizontally away, it's like close to the edge guard situation, which I'm more comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's my reasoning. I used to like up air a lot, and then I would watch other marts, and they do a lot of like fairs to lead them off stage. Like that seemed to be more of the priority. And so recently, I've been trying to focus less on up airs and more on like moving Sheik to the edge.
Okay. And I take it that you don't want to push her across the stage this way, just because this edge is already so close to you.
Yeah, and also Nair's hitbox is huge, and it doesn't have a tipper, I think, right? So
Yeah, it's
it
consistent
basically,
power.
yeah, and it's out for a long time. So I think it could have covered, like, if he had managed to tech inwards, I would have still possibly hit him with the Nair.
Okay, that makes sense. This looks awkward to me to hit, but I think that this could be like a way that this could be a little bit cleaner. Another way that this could be cleaner is like you see how you like jump forward so much with this one. I'm
Hmm.
almost wondering if you could have stayed on stage with this fair.
Yeah, that's yes.
Like instead of jumping to this spot,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
put your jump here.
Hmm.
That way you still cover like roughly where he is, but then you're
Yeah.
directly underneath him, so you just land and then you can cover
Hmm.
this area.
Yeah, I feel like I was like there's the dash forward, jump forward, but I feel like the drift while I was in the air was a lot more forward than it could have been or should have been.
Yeah, I agree. Like
That makes
if you jump forward and drift back, then because you still have the platform underneath you, like sorry, you're still underneath the platform in a little bit, a slight
hmm.
capacity. So you still
Yeah.
have this protecting you from this. So
Hmm.
this is not going to hit you, even if you like are a little
Yeah.
slow drifting back. I kind of like the straight jump though. Like you run and then back jump in place. So you know
Uh,
you're working against the run momentum, but you kind of
yeah.
jump here straight up
Hmm.
because it lets you fast fall the fair. So you're more positioned to like be able to cover this.
Hmm.
But that might be overkill, just because this platform's protecting you from Nair anyway. But
Okay.
it gives you.
Yeah.
I think it might be a slightly more efficient play. Ah, Nair, no. Yeah, that the Nair is I don't like it on platforms for that reason specifically. If you can't
Uh-huh.
guarantee the second hit only,
Hmm.
um, just because the threat of like crouch canceling is. Oh, I love that ledge stall.
Thanks.
Yeah, like the threat of them holding down and then you getting nothing for it is just it makes it very unappealing for me. I would
Hmm.
prefer almost anything to it, like even just forward airing. You might disagree, but that's just kind of how I think
No,
of it.
I do agree. I'd like to get that habit out because I've been burned a lot by getting crouch cancel on there.
Yeah. Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was all very, very textbook.
Cool. Thanks. I can't say I'm actually very confident at shorting Sheik. Like a lot of the stuff I do, I'm not like 100% sure. So if you have like any like suggestions or like any feedback as to like what I could do better there, that's actually something I would like some feedback on. So
Honestly, that edge guard all looked that edge guard all looked really clean. And you clearly have a plan. I would say that sticky tech is going to be like or OMSA tech is going to be very very awkward for your edge guarding style to deal with because I haven't really
mhm.
seen much in the way of something that addresses that line of play. But
Yeah. Hmm.
there are ways of dealing with it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like you can ledge hop and you know you can ledge hop and say forward. Like people sometimes do forward airs into things, which also can
Mhm.
work. But again, it's kind of a prediction that they're going to do the tech. You could also up tilt because up tilt up tilt ends early enough that if they do ground tech, then you can just attack them again.
Mhm.
With you want to hit the sour spot that hits them out, but it
Yeah.
still leads to another follow up because
Mhm.
they have to tech roll, right? And tech
Yeah.
roll takes 40. Up tilt ends on 20 on 30 on 32. So
Mhm.
you're hitting on 6, so you're kind of profiting like 14 frames. Like the math works out to be about 14 frames profit. So then
Okay.
you just hit them with something else like forward tilt, push them off, up B, whatever.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, this just looks like a mistimed aerial. Nothing really to comment on, but the forward smash after looks ambitious.
Yeah. I think it was just like a second of autopiloting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sort of like in my head assumed it was gonna hit, and so I forward smashed. But it was like a muscle memory that I shouldn't have. Yeah.
Maybe instead down tilt here to cover him running in. Gives you the
Hmm.
flexibility of dashing back, or alternatively, you could just dash back to begin with. Is there a
Okay.
way?
Yeah.
Maybe could you maybe like move it? Is there any like reason you could ever move in and like overshoot on him to like punish this dash back, like maybe with like approaching fair or something. I don't know if
Is
that's
there a
even
way to?
yeah. Like is it there's got to be a way to, but is there any merit to it, I guess.
Um, yeah, I feel like so I could wave dash forward, detail. I could. So I think okay in this situation particularly, since I'm like at mid percents, then it's not just grabs I need to be wary of, right? It'd be like also dash attack or whatever.
Yeah. Because
So
what we're really trying to do is catch this dash back. Like we're trying to
yeah,
decide if there's any like reason to try to catch this dash back.
you mean like on a read, something that can cover his in place and dash back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that's not like too risky. It's a little tough to think about it. I feel like I'd just rather hold center
Yeah.
than yeah.
I kind of agree with that. I think that like down tilting here gives you plenty of stage presence because you're like pushing this area. He can't jump in on you because he's run to the corner anyway. So if he
Hmm.
tries to jump in after the down tilt, you can just move back.
Yeah.
And it's just so much more flexible.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was just I don't know, it was just the thought, but the more I look at it, the less I think that there's something that covers both outcomes very well. And
Hmm.
you're winning, so you might as well just like continue to hold advantage.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Side B didn't connect. Oof, missed the dash back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you find you miss a lot of those dash backs?
So I think like 2 months ago, I would never dash back. I'd always dash forward for like like a split second
Mm-hmm.
because I think like muscle memory had just like gotten to the point where I didn't want to subconsciously I didn't want to miss a dash back, so I'd always dash forward first. Recently, I've been trying to do more dash backs because I feel like there have been one or two opportunities I've missed by
Mm-hmm.
dashing forward then trying to dash back. Um, so I feel like right now I'm sort of in the transition period where I'm trying to dash back more, and I have one of the old like JP4 controllers, like the old Japanese ones that have like the best chance of having good dash back, and I'm breaking it in. So I'm like trying to get myself to try it more just to see how it works out. So
Okay,
that's yeah, that's that.
makes sense.
Mm.
Um, so up tilt to get him off you, I agree. I think that forward smash is very ambitious.
Yeah.
That that just look to me that looks like a please hit forward
Yes.
smash.
Hmm.
Um, I do actually think that forward smash is underrated in this matchup because of how it interacts favorably with her jump ins, and on top
Yeah.
of that, it's not a bad way to get her off stage. But I think
Hmm.
at this point she's still at the percent where you really want to just be like putting damage on her and keeping control
Hmm.
of the match, and forward smash doesn't really facilitate either of those. So maybe like
Yeah.
I'm guessing grab is probably the correct tech chase option, unless you
Okay.
can think of something different.
Maybe like a detail to push her off stage, but I don't think that she could just hold down and grab ledge. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like down, like move in, down tilt, and if he rolls through you, then you can still probably grab her anyway. Yeah, no,
yeah.
kind of like the spacey trap. Okay, yeah, I can dig
Yes.
that. I can dig that. I actually like that a lot. And pushing him towards the corner at this percentage is pretty good because it means that like the immediate reward is low, but
Hmm.
him in the corner means that the subsequent interaction, if you get the next one, it will probably set up edge guard. So,
Hmm.
I can yeah, I think that those are kind of like the two good options. There's probably some play that involves like shuffling fair, but no, let's. I don't really think there's any real reason to go for that here.
Hmm. Yeah.
Just because it's so bad. Well, like if you shuffle fair on like where he landed and he rolls away, then you can probably like it hits tech stand, it hits miss tech. If he rolls away, you probably forward smash him or grab him. It's not awful because the edge is shrinking. The edge right now is shrinking his tech roll, like
Hmm.
the relevance of his tech roll, because he landed about
Yeah.
here. So that's kind of an interesting idea. But
Hmm.
I do think detail and grab are the two like go tos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, probably the two go-to options.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Didn't need to swing.
Mm.
Like, you see, like, he's already... when he misses this follow-up, and he goes for this dash attack and whiffs, you don't actually need to swing here to grab the edge. You can actually just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not really timed to be able to do anything.
Wouldn't like a detail challenge certain, maybe not fair, but if I just empty jumped, couldn't like a detail like clip me?
I think you can sweet spot under it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, so yeah.
I'm not 100% on it either. To my understanding, the only thing that 100% can get you is needles, but she doesn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because her down tilt and her down smash kind of curve up a little bit. So that's why I think you can sweet spot, but I don't know what Marth's ECB looks like exactly, so don't quote me on that.
It's a diamond.
Okay.
You know.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a joke.
I mean, it still works out, but you could have gotten on earlier, which would have been like, which means that you're getting on earlier relative to his role, which would probably like allow you to get more on stage. It still worked out, but that's probably just an error. It looks like it's not going to matter. Forward smash.
Oh yeah.
Like that's a kill. That's definitely...
Yeah. Even now, it didn't occur to me until you said it.
Whenever I see Sheik tech roll like that, and the other thing is, she's compromised her tech window because she's teched on the platform. Like it all worked out because you got this here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got the up tilt, and then you continued to like just kind of control the space that she could jump into. Like he can't move there because you're there, so and then you tip him and he dies. But yeah, that could have been... You could have like killed him. Like you could have ended that like 3 interactions ago. The spacing's just a little off. Like you see how you're gonna like miss? Yeah. See, I would have done delayed this fair a little bit more. So you instead of the blade being up like here, I would have like done it more like here. So it covers this frontal area and like probably so then you land quickly afterwards. And then you're able to dash back or potentially up tilt to stop him from shield dropping.
Yeah, I think I was scared about the early shield drop. Like before I hit shield, like if you did a preemptive fair, would that have hit me out of the later fair that you're suggesting?
Maybe. Could you pull back? Could you pull back on the later fair? Like instead, like drift away? But then you don't hit his shield.
Yeah, but that's actually not a bad idea. Knowing that he can shield drop, maybe it's not. It'd be better if I didn't hit a shield.
Yeah, like you pull away from him here, so then you cover like so you cover more like this part of the platform. Because his shield is like this. So you cover this part of the platform, you drift away, you still have center stage, you still attack this choke point. He can't wave dash here. He has to basically shield drop in place in front of Marth, like to like this spot. You land around here, so you have like all this room between you for dash dancing. And you can probably go to this spot with like impunity, which is about the length of his dash attack. Yeah, it doesn't seem bad. It doesn't seem bad to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Then I'm trying to think if there's like another play that's like if that we're like overlooking that's like kind of got viability to it. Can you think of anything or
that Marth can do?
Yeah.
I could try and fast fall and up air like really last second. So basically, it looks like it's an empty jump.
So like
and
that.
Then
so we cover this area, but with like up air.
So same jump trajectory, but the up air comes out like diagonally up in front of him, right?
Yeah.
So instead of hitting that spot that I'm hitting with the early fair in the late fair, it would come out later. His shield, I mean, it doesn't matter because Sheik's shield is pretty big, right? But like on other characters, there's like always the threat of like being able to shield poke them from like that extra little bit of letting the shield shrink. But also, if it looks like I'm empty jumping and he wants to shield drop, like after it looks like the aerial isn't coming out, the up air like
Oh, I
might clip.
see. So it like hits like this kind of area, like starting here, it hits like that. Like,
Yeah,
so then that would like kind of like anti-air this forward air.
yeah, and just an
And
empty
and
regular shield.
right. And it also covers this area as well, so it's more like covering like starting from here, it's more like covering this spot.
Yeah.
So then it's still covering functionally the same area, but you're also threatening him a little bit more. Yeah, no, I like that too. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Oh no!
Yeah.
No, this jump was pointless.
Yeah, it was not a good jump.
It just did nothing for you. You just had the edge for free. He couldn't cover anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. That makes me sad. There was no reason to die there. CC grab? Good enough?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, but he misses it. Okay, does he get the slip off the eye? No. Okay, what could we have done to cover that better?
Yeah, that's the up air that we talked about earlier. It's just tough to clip him. I mean, he did a bear here instead of an air, but he still didn't fast fall it, so.
Mm-hmm. Might even be like, I guess maybe instead of side B here, we grab him. Do shields, but I mean, like, that's kind of, it's kind of reading the defense, so that should have been like a freebie down air. Like, on this, you can just down air him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small thing. But, again, when Sheik gives you freebies, you gotta take them. Oh dear. I do not know what you're going for here. Like, jab, jab. Like, isn't it, so explain those jabs. Do you think it's a mistake, or do you think it's just, like, do you think it's a technical error, or do you think it's, you're actually trying to jab him and keep him out with jab?
I think I was trying to make a read on regular get up from the ledge.
Oh, I see.
But, yeah.
But
looking at it now, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but...
Because I'm thinking down tilt, if you're expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because at least it gives you the flexibility to be able to, like, cancel the down tilt into something else if he rolls. And it's still, like, you're still far enough away that you can do things about the ledge hop fair and whatever, and ledge dash options in general. I mean, it's not going to matter much, because you didn't even get punished that hard. Oh my god, are you serious? Is that how this is...
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay, to give you some insight, those dares were missed wave dash detilts.
Okay.
So I missed 2 wave dash detilts in a row, and that's why the timing is really weird on them, as opposed to, like, rising. I think I sort of jumped for a second, and then it's because I was trying to, but I missed both, and the second one's pretty bad. So.
Yeah, the first one's forgivable because it's like you're missing an aerial. Like that, like you could still do something with this. Like if you this detailed, this did not even look like a detail to me. Like this just looked like you didn't dash jump, and you were trying to cover him jumping here, and like that's fine because even if you land here, then you just turn around, like walk a step, and then wave dash back, fast fall, grab edge, which is like totally a fine edge guard on her.
Mm-hmm.
The second one, yeah, it doesn't. The second one, it just doesn't look like what you're going for.
Yeah. I definitely didn't want to dare that. I was trying to detail. I feel like I was trying to detail off the F throw, and then I was trying to wave dash like a little bit back to cover a jump that's not sweet spotted with another detail. So.
Okay, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Counter pick. Oh, okay, so you're a stadium Marth.
I actually would have picked FD. I honestly sort of forgot that it was a best of 5, and that's honestly the reason.
Okay, so this should be a free CC grab. It honestly looks like you go for it, but like then something weird happens.
I think I might have just gotten jabbed out of the, like I tried to I think thought he'd jab once or something.
Okay. Ah, yeah. Sheik is crouching, so that up air isn't going to work.
I think it's just like a spacey habit, like a verse spaceys thing.
You could actually dare her here. I don't know about at 0, but in general, if Sheik is crouching in front of you and like waiting for the counterattack, you can actually dare grab her. Just get something.
Is that actually a true combo into grab? Because I think for spaceys it's not.
It's percentage dependent.
Okay.
Like I don't think it would work at 0, but I think if she was at like 15, it would.
It wouldn't work at 0 if they like react within a tight window, though.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, like the other thing worth considering is Sheik does not have a shine, so
true.
Like what she's like likely counterattacking you with is not nearly as good as what the spaceys are it's counterattacking with. Although she still has buffer sidestep, so there's that consideration. So this whole stock is just kind of like you get pressured, like not crouch canceling that fair. Then you wind up eating the side B. I think you used your jump in that pressure string, like here. Maybe earlier.
Maybe earlier.
Yeah. I think that all started, but the big thing was just like, the big thing that really started this though was like this is all fine, but like when he comes down, like this fair and this nair or fair or whatever into up tilt, like that should not be working.
Okay.
And then I think this side B doesn't really do anything for you. Like if this was a fast fall fair, then at least that gets you back to the ground right away. You could also probably just keep drifting towards the edge, probably. Like, if you just keep drifting away from Sheik, she has to commit pretty hard to actually hit you, and you're not at the percent where dash attack's really a threat. And forward tilt, I don't even think really combos you yet. Yeah, you're 18. Forward tilt won't combo you either. So the big problem was just, like, hanging in the air way too long.
I feel like when I'm getting pressured by Sheik, my instinct is to jump. Like, I feel like I've jumped already, like, several times out of, like, attacks. What are my other options there?
I think
that with me?
The big thing here is the first option is actually just not to jump. I know that sounds like overly simplistic, but that's really like that's really the go-to. If you just keep holding away from here, like, do you see how her up tilt like misses the second hit? So now he's like dash jumping towards you with nair. But like, what if you just fast fall? Right? You land here. You land here in this box in this little like spot here. He's kind of coming at you at like this trajectory. And you can block, you can roll in, you can roll here. Like you could even like light shield, fall to edge. Like you have so many, you have a lot of things you can do. Another thing that you could do is you could just attack him on the way down, but just not with something that holds you in the air. Like imagine, like if you forward air here, you cut off the range that he's jumping at you. If he walks forward and forward tilts, you also cut off that. And you're fading back because you're drifting back away from him anyway. Your momentum is working against him because you DI'd away. Like your DI on the up tilt was amazing. Like it was the thing that you needed to correct the fact that you didn't crouch cancel the fair. But then you just hang out in the air too long. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like. Okay, this all makes sense. I feel like at 0, I'm just very afraid of grab. And so I think in my mind it's that I'm trying to jump because more than likely, like, he gets a lot more off of a grab than a attack and like aerial. So if I'm in a pressure situation, I think his goal is to make me shield to grab me. So I'm going to jump so I don't get grabbed. And so
that makes sense and that's sensible, especially at low damage. And again, like you could have mitigated all of this, like by you mitigate that kind of thinking mitigated a lot of this. But again, at this point, you have more ways of defending against everything else that he can do by just landing, and you can still defend against his grab when you land. Like you can roll on it, you could. wave dash towards the edge. You could side. If all else fails, you have a sidestep. Like it's not pretty, but you still have things you can do about that. But when you jump and like keep yourself in the air, if he does anything else, then yeah. And it's also worth noting, like hanging out in the air, like even if he didn't jump in on this, side B. Like if he stays on the ground looking for the grab, he could potentially just dash dance around this kind of setup, which is another reason why like staying in the air can be dangerous, just because it commits you to a trajectory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. If I sound like I'm talking crazy, just let me know, and I will.
Sure thing. Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah.
Okay. Up throw, short up here. Yeah, see, I like short up here because it covers the same thing that this is covering, but it also moves you under it moves you directly under him, so you can go like here while still covering this area. And then if you miss, then it's lower commitment, so you can still cover like this platform if he starts leaning towards there, because he has to travel all the way down here. Up tilt just seems like too high commit right now for me. And it doesn't really especially combo him that... it would combo him pretty well, but up air also combos him pretty well right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hitting him at the edge of the platform. What do you think about naring here?
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of other Marths nair underneath the inside side of the platform. And so I don't 100% understand. Like, I have an idea of why they do that, but I don't 100% understand why. But I just see a lot of success off of it, or I've seen it a lot in successful Marths.
So the reason that they do it here is, you see how he's light shielding right now? The first hit pushes them off the platform, and then the second hit hits them. There is technically a window where they can counterattack you out of, before the second hit connects on them. But it's one of those things where it's like, if they're waiting for, say, a solid hit like this, it's just it's a tight reaction window, so a lot of people miss it. So it's kind of just, it's kind of cheese, but it's not really. That's why they do it here. Push them off with first hit with second.
Okay.
Yeah. So with him shielding at the very edge of the platform, that's a spot where it can potentially work.
Yeah,
full jump doesn't have enough reach. No, full jump is too much of a commitment. Yeah, like short hopping under. I think that up air can work. Yeah, see, like that. I think this is where the juggle becomes hard. You see how you full jump for this one? See, I think that short hopping is the one that you want. Because full jumping this high, like, if that up air misses, then you don't really have the ability to reposition on the ground. Well, it was like an instant double jump, really. It wasn't a true full jump. But it's the same idea. Like, if that misses, you don't have the flexibility of being able to land right away and then dash or, like, potentially dash or get out of the way of her or anything. You have to just kind of eat the next punish, which is the problem with it. It's also worth considering, I think, that after this, like, up air, with how he's positioned himself, I think that it also might be worth considering that you can turn around here. Because he's used his double jump, right?
Yeah.
So if you turn around, so you're using forward air, you can kind of cover all the areas that he can fall into. And forward air completes in the air a lot faster than your up air does. So you could potentially, if in my mind, you, dash to this spot, you turn around so you're facing that way. And then you can use your forward airs to cover, this whole area. Because even if one of them misses on him, you can just cancel into it. You can just complete it and then do another attack right away,
Mm-hmm.
which can potentially start pushing him towards the edge and like off this area.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what my instinct is. Alternatively, you could stay under him and up air, but I don't really. The more I think about it, I actually think the fair is better.
Yeah, I think the fair is better. Looking at it here, it looks pretty clear. Or at least it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Nothing really else to say about this interaction. I think on the fair you actually could short hop it or full jump it, just because if full jump fair misses because they air dodge or something, you just do another fair. Whereas, or like you fall in up air like right away and then keep going. Whereas if you miss with full jump up air, like you don't have that luxury. Good DI on the second up air. Oh dear. He's being very aggressive right now. Yeah, that roll was sick. It avoided the dash attack, got you center stage. That was a good roll. Down tilt? Yes. You are dead. Alright. Where did you begin with your evasion? So your dash.
Yeah, so I think I was trying to land on the platform and I missed the.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so like as part of what I was saying at the beginning, I actually feel like I watched this match quickly before we started, and I feel like a lot of the tech flubs like that have to do with like wavelands and wave dashes are because I just am executing a lot worse in this match than like I guess usually suspect or trusted myself to, and then the consequences were pretty bad, like the end of game one, and also like here where I trust myself to waveland on the platform and I miss, and suddenly I'm full hopping or got my double jump. So
yeah, you're above Sheik when she's respawned, and then all of her weaknesses with mobility are kind of addressed by the fact that you've committed to her trajectory, so she can just throw her gigantic aerials into you, and it's freebie. I get what you mean. I think that that's something that maybe a good takeaway from this is the practice. Maybe you said you're not practicing quite as much, but maybe something that you could prioritize when you do find the time to practice is just making sure that your platform and edge movement, because your ground movement seems fine, but like maybe like probably doesn't need much in the way of like actual upkeep or work. But if you're finding that the mistakes with the platform and the ledge are being really costly, then maybe those are spots where that could warrant some attention. This regarding this sequence, there are a few things I'm noticing about it. So when he could double jumps up here, you go for this down tilt, right? But he's missed in front of you with this fair. I think you actually want to hit him out of the air here.
Actually, so I haven't tested this yet, but another Marth told me like at high percent, if I do like a fair that's really close, it'll lead into a Ken combo. So I haven't looked into that, but I actually also think looking at the situation now, like once he's whiffed, I feel like that might not be a bad option either.
Yeah, no, fair makes sense because he either DIs in and then gets hit by probably another fair or possibly a dare, and then that kills him, or he DIs away and that kills him. You could also. I'm also thinking possibly forward tilt could work here, because it starts here. It would start around here and then go up.
Yeah.
Forward smash possibly works here, but probably not as good as the other two that we've gone over. Just because I'm worried about it possibly running because of how his arm goes so high. I'm worried about it maybe crashing into this hitbox. That's kind of what but I think that forward air and forward tilt are really would make a lot of sense there. And then on this one, I didn't think you had to get off the edge on that.
With the nair, stay on the edge.
Yeah, just stay on the edge because he went so low. Yeah. Observing, keeping an eye on where Sheik is in her recovery is so critical. That should be a kill though. That looked like a tip. Okay, let's see how you move. Hopefully we don't have any flubs. Okay, that looked way better for between stocks defense. Nice forward smash. Ah! Because, like, I think it tips.
Yeah, you're right. It would have.
I think
Once
that
again, I didn't see it.
yeah. I think that the forward air is fine. To be fair, I just like this is where I've been hit by this move as I've been hit by this exact setup in Sheik's position a million times. Because one of my first training partners was a Marth player, so I got this habit beaten out of me for this reason. But I think that like if you tip this, it can also work. But it looks like I don't know why that didn't work though. So you get this. Does this not tip? I can't tell.
I think it's a full jump though, right?
Yeah,
So I full jump because I think I needed to cover what I thought could have been like a hard DI away, but I think basically I rise way past him with that fair.
So maybe if you like short hop aerialed and like hit him around here, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then maybe that combo works actually.
Yeah, if I didn't full jump. But then if he had full DI'd away, would the short hop fair I don't know if that would have hit. Okay, no, it would have hit. It would have hit, but I don't think it would have Ken comboed.
No, but you could probably down tilt after or something. Like, because you'd be hitting him. Because if he full DIs away, he goes around here, right?
Yeah.
So you short hop fair and probably hit him with this part of the blade out here. Because you short hop to, like, this spot. Hit him around there. Maybe you don't get... Well, yeah, and you probably can get a down tilt after that. Unless he DIs away again. But if he DIs away again, that's not bad. Because then he has to recover.
If he DIs again, I could, like, jump and do a shield breaker or neutral B.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Or maybe even run off and... Well, maybe run off and do it, too. No, you need the jump. Because it hits up and out. Yeah, no, your idea is right. So it's like tipper or short up fair. Those are the good. Those are the good options there.
Should that have worked? The F smash at that spacing? I think that would like lost to ledge dash, right?
Yeah, it would have. It would lose to ledge dash, but he hasn't really done ledge dash yet.
Okay.
So it looked like he went for it, but this was like a really bad ledge dash attempt. Like you'll see him air dodge, right about now. See?
Okay. Yeah.
I wonder if you could just turn around and grab. Probably not.
I actually do think I could turn around and grab. I think this is part of like what I was saying with the muscle memory, where if somebody's right behind me, I'm more inclined to dash forward than back instead of try and dash back or do something immediately behind me. But I think you're right. I should have gone for the turnaround grab.
Maybe. We might have had to do the down tilt earlier as well.
True.
Either way, though, I do like the down tilt there, just because it gives you a lot of flexibility with what you do after it. I just think that you did it a little. I think that with down tilt, you want to do them a little bit earlier. Just like kind of as their ledge invincibility is potentially elapsing.
Okay, so they get hit by like the second half of the active hitbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then if they don't get hit by it, it means that they committed to doing something about it. So then you just dash away or turn around, grab or whatever. Oh, and now we remember that it's 3 to 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if you could have just kept like, oh no, side B, grab. Side B bad on Sheik. Side B bad on grounded Sheik at low percent. I wonder what you could have done about that.
Yeah, I was trying to challenge the needles, so trying to fare through them and hit Sheik, but I think I was a little just. I think I was far away, or I just hesitated for like a split second.
Yeah, needles kind of shoot at like this trajectory. So, and they kind of, but, so I think that was something that you could do when you see her hand go up like this. You could
Hmm.
actually just wave dash forward and get under her.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Alternatively, you do the conservative thing and you stay out. Another thing that sometimes I've seen Marths do, but I don't think it really works in this position, but it's food for thought for a later one. You know how the needles aim down like this diagonally? What I've
Hmm.
seen some of them do is kind of like time their jump to stay or go around it and
Hmm.
hit my face. I don't think that this works here because of how far away you are,
Hmm.
but it is something that I have seen them do. Like they put their forward air like to kind of hit this part of me.
Hmm.
But you're too far away for that. But that's another kind of option that could potentially work on a closer needle.
Hmm.
I don't think there are any other options worth considering. Obviously, like the conservative one is we just back off because we're too far and we've taken too
Hmm.
long. The aggressive one is we just wave dash under her because we can. And then the last one is doesn't really work because of her distance.
Hmm.
Yeah. Down here was fine. It was just she was a little too far away. Nice. Oh, no, not double jump. Like
Should I follow her down?
I think that the one you actually do follow her down.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense seeing it here.
Yeah. Because like if you go down with her, you'll recover first, and if she hits you into the wall, you'll tech it anyway, so it's not a big deal.
Hmm.
And then if you tech it, then you just grab the edge before her anyhow. So like you trade some damage to grab the edge, and that's in the worst case scenario.
Hmm.
In the best case scenario, you hit her with forward air and she dies. The patience is good. Moon does that on me all the time, and it's very strong. Like
What is
stalls.
it?
Okay, so what you're doing here is good because you see how you do this ledge hop fair to like get him to basically
Hmm.
give you a little bit of room.
Yeah.
So then the next play that you do, the play that you use to get on, is not a wave land, but it's this land in place.
Hmm.
You can even make that a no impact land if you make your jump like super perfect, or you can even wave
Hmm.
land in place if you want to like jump earlier. But this
Hmm.
landing in place here is really strong because usually people are trying to are trying to counter hit Marth when he whiffs the fair coming up,
Hmm.
or catch the wave land, which you kind of do at the same spacing for both of them. So by you
Hmm.
landing in place, you're kind of defending against both of those, which is why it's
Hmm.
good. Yep, and that's a kill. The backwards fair out of shield on the forward tilt was also really surprising. I didn't think that you'd go for something like that, but it makes perfect sense given how close he was.
Hmm. And I could grab the ledge too, like if I drift correct.
Yeah, no, it was a good play.
Thanks.
That was a very dangerous DI you did on her down throw, but like every DI is
Hmm.
dangerous on this level at
Yeah.
this percent, so I won't fault you for it.
Is it like a mix-up that like I try and, or should I always try and DI behind, or what do you think I should do?
Well, I'm only pointing it out because like if you see where he would come out of her, this is a tipped up
Mhm.
smash.
Yeah.
But
Where should I? Yeah.
well, the thing is, the problem is there's no good outcome. Like if you go
Yeah.
here, she fairs you. If you go here, she just dashes back and does it. If you go where you went, she just stands in place and does it. There's like weird in the middle points like here and here that are kind of okay, but she can still technically up smash them. So it's like
Okay.
fair up smash, up smash, up smash. Like everything
Okay.
kills you. So
Hmm.
there's no good outcome. You just kind of hope the Sheik sucks.
Okay. Cool. That's what I thought. So I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, it's one of the times where Sheik is ice climbers. Except she's not because she didn't edge guard you right. She let you land on stage and she didn't wave land on and grab you like facing off stage for some reason. So Sheik was not Ice Climbers. He's being very patient. Roll.
Who?
He's being very patient
Okay.
with this edge right now. Like he's taking his time, just waiting for you. I like that you're just kind of moving around. Yeah, nice job hitting the back of that. Perfect grab. Oh god.
Yeah, that was a flip. Obviously.
That was an up air. We missed the big green button. That it happens. So much of this feels like unforced errors though, which is kind of like there are some moments where it looks like you definitely go for a play that could potentially work, but maybe is leaving a lot of damage or potential on the table. But a lot of at least some of these jump interactions or waveland interactions just look like unforced errors to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually jumpable.
Out of the up smash?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they like to do that, if you see that they like to do that a couple times, then just the soft up smash is completely jumpable. Okay, stay under him and hit the forward smash. Good. I would have liked to see you like compensate the drift a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see how like if you wave dash or walk a little, like if when you see that up B, like because you confirm that he's still in the magnifying glass, so you wave dash back a little bit, and then you just kind of keep him under you. And the reason for that is then you can get the tipper. But staying under him is still like I'd rather you just hit it because he kind of wiggles back and forth. She doesn't have much air mobility, so it really pays to like force her to commit.
Mm-hmm.
But awkward. No, it's kind of awkward when she does stuff like that because you're not expecting it. The reaction's slow, and then you're like, okay, how much time do I actually have to cover this? So I get it. Yep. Oh no! That one looked like you went for the forward smash spacing, and then you looked at her percent and realized that she was killable, and then changed your mind.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty accurate. I don't think that should have worked.
Probably not, but he was
looking at it.
The side B was definitely shield grabbable. Actually, no.
I don't think it was shield grabbable, but I think it was punishable.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets a shield out in front of me, so.
And then the up tilt like still hits him. So maybe that's a moment.
I think you dropped your shield.
Actually, you know what? I don't know if that was shield. I don't know if this part is shield grabbable. Maybe it's not because this is pretty far. He wave dashes into you. I guess maybe he tried to shield grab. Yeah, it looks like to me that he's trying to shield grab, and then your up tilt is just out timing him.
Mm-hmm. So if you went for a straight grab instead of shield grab, it's a toss up, I think.
Yeah.
So you could have also just jabbed.
Yeah, for sure. Although if you CC the jab, then you still get something.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that jab is that good there.
Okay.
I guess you're up tilting though, so you're probably holding up. So maybe it's more like
that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, this is what I mean by like this side B. Like because you could commit to the side B, it gives him like kind of like information that you're gonna have to land here, which is why he's able to set up, even though he kind of like he if you look carefully, he actually chickens out of his play. Like he goes for this and then he stops and he's just like okay. So this gives him like cues to him to like start setting up shop again, which is why he gets the dash attack. He doesn't sweet spot it, so you're okay, but that's kind of what I mean with like side Bs and like in positions where they hang you in the air without really like interacting with him. Because I think in your shoes, your priority is to get to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it, really. The main things though are just between stocks. There are definitely some unforced errors going on. So maybe work on if you can find time to practice, I might even just consider putting some practice into those setups, just so you have something something of a pre-made game plan. Because if you have something practiced, you'll execute it more confidently than something you're making up on the fly. And certainly pattern, like you always know where the opponent is respawning relative to you, right? So there's only so many places they can be respawning from. So you can always like just figure out, okay, if they're respawning from here, this is where I position myself, this is where I set up, this is what the spot I move to. And just having that like already ready to go might go a long way. Beyond that, I think a lot of it was just combos, just combo stuff. Like I think we spent a lot of time we spent a lot of time figuring out what a better punish would be on him in some of these situations, because I think there's a lot of Marth's moveset's so rich, but that means that there's a lot of stuff that's like situationally good. And then beyond that, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I feel like J-Flex doesn't... So, okay, one thing is, I feel like J-Flex doesn't grab a lot as a Sheik, or at least in this match he wasn't grabbing a lot. And I wonder, like, versus a Sheik that grabs a lot, or, like, is aiming a lot more for the grab, like, would I do better or worse? And I'm very curious about that. Looking at it now, I feel like there's a clear list of, like, to-do items to work on, which would be, like, try to not jump when you're panicked, I should work on like certain spacings and recognizing certain situations. But all of this is like are built around like verse JFlex, and there's like no grab. So I do wonder if like, yeah, how that's going to change things.
Well, I think the punishment stuff is pretty universal. I think that Sheik is just there's a steep learning curve for getting the punish down on her like perfectly. Just because a lot of it is like once she doesn't have her jump. Like Sheik with her jump versus Sheik without her jump are two very different beasts. And when she has her jump, it's more about like maximizing efficiency. You don't really overextend. And once she doesn't have her jump, it's like how do we push her? How do we set up forward airs? How do we keep her? How do we grind her off stage? What works? I think that for J-Flex, his lack of grab tendencies, it might be kind of be like an anti-metagame approach, kind of like the idea. All the other Sheiks want to grab Marth, so I just won't grab Marth.
It makes sense. I mean, I'm jumping a lot and getting caught, so.
I think that you could still defend against the grab on the ground. Like you can interrupt it with any of your fast sword moves. You can also just simply get out of the way. You're just as fast as she is on the ground, so she has to predict where you are on the ground in order to hit you. And even then, there's still ways like of getting to the ground quickly that can distort your position, like wave landing. That's something that we didn't really mention, but that can absolutely like cause a grab to whiff. If she's aiming her grab at where you're landing and you wave land back a bit, then that can obviously evade that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's really all that really stands out to me. And again, all of this is going on YouTube, so it'll be available for you to rewatch it in the event that you think you missed something or want to go over something we talked about.
Great. Cool.